Well, here we are. It's freezing cold. We're in Dingo Dell. Probably going to rain any minute. But do I care? No, not at all, because I'm in the Adventure Camper kitchen, and this is awesome. This is definitely the best camper kitchen I've used. To begin with, look at the bench height, right where you want it. It's perfect. Now, what are we going to cook tonight? Well, I couldn't really tell you because the Mickey Thompson guys did the shopping, and you know what rubber blokes are like when it comes to shopping. But we've got a heap of really good tucker. They've done a good job here. What we're going to make is... I haven't really got a name for it yet. We'll think of that later on. Okay, now to kick off, big pot. We don't want to muck around. We're going to do a one-pot meal. We'll fire it off with oil, margarine, whatever. In this case, it's going to be margarine because that's what we've got. I've got some ginger here in a tube. I haven't used ginger in a tube before. Should be good. I've got some garlic in a tube too. What a great idea for camping. You should always buy good meat. Don't waste your money on rubbish. Rubbish meat you pay by the kilo anyway, and it's got all that stuff you got to chop off, and then it's inedible. So he's bought really good meat, but he's bought it chopped up, which is awesome. So we've got chopped up beef. In it goes. Okay, I think we'll just let that beef brown up, which I think is going to take approximately 3 beers.
Ruthie, as we came in the Dingo Dell, Andy, our sound man, mentioned, he commented quite accurately that he thought that he wondered what these square poos were on the ground, and he worked it out that they were wombats.
Wombats, yeah, definitely.
So I've had a thought, this diced beef here, we might have ourselves a bit of a wombat poo stew.
Wombat poo stew. Alright then, I'll go with that, yeah. The meat's pretty nicely browned at the moment. In fact, it's bubbled right up. Lots of juice off it, but that's fine because it's mixed up with the garlic and the ginger that we put in. So far we've got garlic, ginger and beef in this pot. And it's not going to feed 9 people. Not out of one pot. So, we'll lob in with the tiny taters. 2 cans of that, drained. This is a soup mix, which has got all sorts of vegetables in. Don't ask me what. Turnips, carrots, stuff like that. I'm not putting onion in, because onion turns our photographer Mike Ellum into an absolute beast. So we've got to leave that out. Now when you've got this much stuff in the pot, you need something to render it down a bit. Render is cook talk for something for it to boil in. So, Heinz big and chunky butter chicken soup. Hey, it's got to be worth a go. Now people say, how come chicken when you're cooking beef? Well, I don't know, but it works. Let's put it in. Can of mushrooms. Sliced mushrooms in butter sauce. Yep. No one's losing weight on this trip, I can tell you. Oh, look at this. Peas and corn. Why not? Bit of barbecue sauce, just for now. Oh, why not? A can of corn. Hey, lots of corn. Give all that a bit of a stir. I looked everywhere for liquid. I didn't actually. Normally, when I make stew, I make it with beer. But the Adventure camper trailer comes from South Australia. And in South Australia, they're a little bit more, shall we say, hoity-toity than us. So it just so happens that Paul had a flask of red wine. Now it's a bit new for me using red wine, but hey, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Let's go. It's a big shot of the old red. I've heard that if you boil it long enough, it loses its alcoholic content. So we won't boil it too long. I think we'll just leave that there for a minute before we add the final flavours. We'll let all that sort of cook through a little bit. 2 beers. Okay, be back in a minute. Oh, we're up to stage 3 of the wombat poo stew, and it's looking pretty good. Let's give it a bit of a stir. How you going there, Paul?
Buttering away, mate. Buttering
Good stuff, mate. Got Paul from Adventure Campers on the bread and butter stuff here. Really good. On the knife. We've got to put curry powder in. Why? Because it's cold. Gee, I think 2 of those should do. Sweet chilli. I think it's mild. Doesn't say hot. Jam. I stick jam in everything. You know why? No, I don't. But it tastes good. We'll put some jam in. Actually, it's the sugar content as much as anything. Because jam tastes good, whatever you cook with jam will taste good. Does that make sense? And the mystery ingredient. Now, I found these behind Pat's seat over there in Camilla, the Range Rover. I know he's trying to keep them to himself, you know, big bag of cashews, but mate, I think we'll put these in the wombat poo stew. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I got to point out one more thing about this adventure camper. I mean, I'm not doing this because you're here, mate. Honestly, but I love the way these surfaces are all laminated. Now that means you can clean them really easily.
Hey Ruthie.
Yes,
Who
mate.
stole Camilla's nuts?
As always, the secret to good cooking is let your victims drink lots of this before you serve it. We'll come back in a minute and dish this out and see what it's like.
VB victim bitter.
Victim bitter. I like it. Right. You guys ready? You look like you're ready. Look at this. Wombat poo stew. Let's go. You got some bread there,
There's your
Paul?
weapons, there's your bread.
Beauty. Let's give it a go. You're going to be test guinea pig, Pat. Good on you, mate. You've survived a couple of my meals in the past. See how you go with this one.
Good on you, Ruthie.
Thank you, Mark. No worries, mate. We'll see what happens here, eh? It was a good day, hey? We did well today. We survived.